Hello, my abnormal family. Hope everything and everyone is doing okay tonight. It is super windy outside. I've got the window open, so maybe y'all can hear the wind blowing a little bit while we tell the story. I'm not sure. This encounter is a one that will really make you think about things, and we'll discuss some things after we go through this one. It's not as long. It's a Friday encounter. But also, guys, I would like to ask you to join us Saturday night as we're going to be live at 8:30 p.m. We're going to do a breakdown. I took an interview from a family, and we're going to discuss it and see if we can break it down and see if y'all can guess what they were going through to see how much y'all are learning from these videos. It's kind of a fun night, guys. So unfortunately, the boots on the ground we couldn't do due to the severe weather and the wind right now. It would not be safe to be out there under those trees in the woods. One Widowmaker and it's over, and plus y'all wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. So hope you enjoy the Saturday Night Live though. It was 2009 and my family was at the local park celebrating my older sister's graduation with friends and relatives. We lived in a small rural town. The park was modest, with few pavilions, a playground, and a volleyball court. But beyond that, a large mass of dark trees loomed, dense forest lining the river's edge, with a few narrow hiking trails that disappeared into the trees. I was 7 or 8 at the time, and like always, my siblings and I ran free, unsupervised by our negligent parents, so it was no surprise then one noticed that I had wandered off alone. But that never bothered me. I was a farm kid, used to exploring nature by myself. As I walked, the sounds of the party faded, swallowed by the hush of the forest. Soon all I could hear were birds chirping and the relentless buzz of the mosquitoes in my ears. I followed the trail until I reached a part of the riverbank I had never seen before. The water roared and rushed with the current, the air thick with the scent of the damp earth. I crouched, distracted by the scuttling insects and the smooth river stones, when a movement caught my eye across the water. I looked up. A man stood on an old wooden raft in the middle of the river. He was tall, abnormally tall. He gripped a long pole, guiding a cluster of logs downstream the vicious current, and yet his raft stayed completely stationary, almost as if it was floating above the water rather than on it. I wasn't expecting to see anyone on the river, but what unsettled me the most was his appearance. He looked like an old-time lumberjack dressed in muddy, faded clothes and tattered red flannel. His beard was wild and white, but his skin was blue, not pale, not cold, vividly blue, like the color of the summer sky or a cheap carnival face paint. I stared in disbelief. And then he turned and he saw me, his grin stretched wide to wide, teeth flashing in a gray daylight. He shouted something, but the roar of the water drowned out his words. Then slowly, deliberately, he lifted a hand and he beckoned me to come to him. Of course, the river separated us, so I couldn't obey even if I wanted to. The currents were strong that day. And some small primal instinct warned me not to try. Fear gripped me, and I sprinted back down the trail toward my family. When I breathlessly told my siblings what I had seen, 2 of them were excited and insisted on going back with me to find him, but when we returned, the river was empty. No raft, no logs, no blue man. This memory has haunted me for years. It has made me wonder, did he want me to come out into the water to drown? Was he trying to lure me into the rapids? Because there was no way anyone could have swam the way that river was running that day. It was full of debris from a flood that had happened. The currents were swift and strong. Was he trying to lure me to my death? Is that why he was telling me to come here? You know, there's a lot of rumors that go around about people that die in the lakes. You know, I was listening to a thing the other night about Oklahoma. Oklahoma, unfortunately, from what I was reading, has the most people that drown in lakes and some people that are never found and they don't know why they drowned. Now, there's been a lot of speculation that some of our lakes have things that live beneath the water that are attributed to the drownings. You know, they say that the lake that I live by, it has an octopus in it, and many people said they've seen it. And there's a lot of drownings in the lake that I live on. There's a lot of people lose their lives there, usually somebody every year. But people have also said they've seen other things. I've heard people say that they've seen Sasquatch under the water by their boat at night while they're fishing. They've seen his eyes glaring up from under the water at them. I've heard people say that they've seen green, slimy, scaly-looking things running around under the water. I would have to say that there's probably something to most of these, because I've seen a green thing down while fishing with my mom, so I know that there is something green down there that looks like a frog, or a large frog. You know, his head had the scales or whatever you call it on it. It looked like a frog. And I also videoed something running, you know, along the lake down there that I've showed many times on my show that I don't even know what it is. Nobody's even really guessed at what it could be. So, you know, there's no doubt that there is some weird things down there. We know there's weird things on the land, so why not the water, why not the sky, right? And it does make you wonder sometimes. Is some of the drownings because something grabbed these people and pulled them under? Because every year when you hear these drownings, people say, he was an avid swimmer. He was a great swimmer. But yet they drowned in the most calm, swimmable places. So it really does make you wonder. Is something under the waters? Is something grabbing us by the ankles and holding us under? Can you imagine being in this dark water, especially where I live, this dark, murky, dirty water that even if you wear a t-shirt in it and you come out from a white t-shirt, your t-shirt's going to be brown. Can you imagine something slipping up through those old logs that lay under that water and those old trees that used to stand, and oil wells and foundations and, oh man, cellars and everything else, wells, and something grabs you and holds you under? I've swam in that lake many times. Me and my cousins, friends. Me and one of my cousins, more like a brother to me. We used to go down there a lot and swim together. We had a ball. We had a lot of good times. I miss those times. But, you know, we had a lot of good times. And a lot of times we were out there swimming and things would bump into your legs and you would wonder what it was. And now it really makes you wonder. Is there things under the water that come on land at night? Is there things that hold us under the water? I mean, your mind can really get away from you. It makes me not even want to swim in places where I can't see the bottom no more, because you don't know what you're swimming with. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Is there things out there you think that's holding us under the water? Is there things that are in the water as much as they are on the land? If there is, that's pretty scary. I mean, can you imagine when you're fishing sometimes and your line takes off and you can't even pull and stop whatever it is, it just snaps your line? Is it always a fish? Or did you hook something else? Let me know in the comments what you all think. Hopefully I've opened your eyes to some things, or maybe we can get you all to thinking and we can get some of your comments. Thank you for listening, guys. We'll see you Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. for the breakdown. It'll be live. I look forward to seeing you all, interacting with you guys. And until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And we'll see you on the next one.